The lesson.
Oh yeah.
Just before you did your last dash to Australia to move here, I think like 07-ish you did a joint with Akon, or you had a couple songs.
Oh yeah.
Where Akon had a feature.
Yeah, I did the West Coast remix for Savage, Moonshine. Yeah. So we can talk about that because that's how I ended up also staying, because that was the main reason why I stayed. So I actually had a deal on the table with Don Raid and Universal New Zealand, Australia.
Now, is that around
That's
the same?
before the kid, my son, and all that. That was like, so we toured. When we toured, those were one of the places that we went. And when I went over there, when we toured in 2001, when we went in 03, that was the big tour. And we went over there, and that's when they were like, yeah, that's Monsta Ganjah from the UGA. A lot of people were like, damn. So people knew who I was, like, damn. So, yeah, and then, like, I made contact with Brother D and Andy from Don Raid, and that's the same label that Savage, Decepticons, and Aradna signed to. So, yeah, made contact with him, and then, kept in communication with them. And at that time, the Polynesian scene, so see, you got the Polynesian market right now, which is Jay Boog, who's a reggae artist, the Common Kings, Fiji, all those artists. Because I'm Samoan, I was kind of like, as far as hip hop, besides, Booyah Tribe, because they were way back, it's like at the forefront of that, because I'm with Yuck Mouth and sort of that scene. So then I basically was the first one from the West Coast to come out this way. And the reason why I ended up coming out here and staying was because of the situation with Don Raid. And then based on that was just like, I met my partner then, had kids. Yeah, but it was because those Polynesians and in New Zealand, we actually like had our own shows. And so I was really just amazed by it. And
because Savage and Scribe were like killing shit, I think, at that point in time. Like they were huge.
Yeah, Savage was big, and Scribe was Scribe was the one.
But Dawn Raid aren't the ones that made the feature with Akon happen, are they? That happened before the Dawn Raid situation, the Akon.
If that's the one, the California song, that's a separate situation. That's with Yuck Mouth. Yeah.
But then the remix, the Sav was Moonshine.
That was Dawn Raid.
That was Dawn Raid. Yeah. Okay, cool. So then when you've moved here around like 08, 09.
That actually happened first. And then the two separate occasions. That actually happened first. We went to New Zealand, and they were like, yo, man, hop you and Gangsta from the Booyah Tribe. West Coast was like, cool, done. We laced it up. Savage laced his part. And then we came over here, and then Yuck Mouth was like, yo, do this song with me. We got Akon on it. And then, true story, never happened. Who's going to put E40 on there? Yeah, and rap a lot.
What, the Moonshine remix?
No, on the California.
Oh, and why didn't that eventuate?
Because I think Akon didn't sign off on it, or his management didn't sign off on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Okay, so then when you've come to Australia, you've pretty much, I'm guessing, you've signed, like that's kind of why you've come here. So you've signed when you've come here.
Yep.
And then around that time, I mean, Savage Swing dropped, I think, like,
Well, we were doing stuff with Affiliated, remember? Affiliated Records. Yeah. That dude, I can't remember the dude's name. Yeah, but he was the one who brought us out here. He brought us out here. And then the Don Raid stuff happened. But we were out here doing stuff, doing records with Affiliated Records, Yuck Mouth, Corrupt, and then Gangsta Red. Yeah, we were doing a bunch of projects for them. They had a bunch of compilations that they put out. So we did all those.
Yeah.
And then went to New Zealand, had another meeting, and then that folded out. Yeah, because it was more like, okay, Polynesians.
Yeah.
Makes sense for him. So yeah, bro, we did that, and then by 2010 is when I had the situation all locked in.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, I had my permanent residency. And then I did This Is Love, which is my biggest song with J Boog. And that went gold in New Zealand. And that's the song, that's what I was saying. That song broke J Boog into, like, that was his first major, you know, from an independent whatnot. But yeah.
So how big did that song go? That went gold.
Yeah, it went gold in New Zealand. And it's had, like, before they took the streams down, like Don rated had, like, I don't know what, 2 million. But then there's another site that has it up, and it's like, I don't know, 3 million streams
for that one song.
Yeah.
And that song's off the album Pacific Coast Highway, which is the first album that you put out.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. And then off the back of that, P Money, like you would have been around P Money around that time as well.
Yeah.
Because he's a New Zealand legend.
Yeah, I did some stuff with P Money.
Yeah. And so what exactly did you guys work on?
Oh man, I did the EP, Allow Me to Reintroduce Myself, Pacific Coast Highway, and then I did The Story Thus Far, or wait a minute. No, Cali Fob. And on Cali Fob, me and P Money did a song with Sky High. Yeah, and that's called Gold Chains. He produced that. And then I also featured on one of P Money's, he put out a compilation, I think on Duck Down, I don't know what.
The lesson. 27. Oh, yeah.